In the history of esports, some players stand out amongst the masses. Players whose achievements seem impossible, whose stature goes above and beyond what most others could ever hope to achieve. One of those players is Canadian. Among his accolades are countless league titles, a major win, and 2 world championships. But beyond just being good, his career truly is of his own making. He's achieved all of this across several different rosters, joining teams and instantly leading them on to greatness. He's someone who understands Siege like no one else, and his approach to the game has defined how it's played. Just recently, for example, in the qualifiers for the $3 million Esports World Cup, he led his team of Dark Zero to victory over the Sonics, a powerhouse roster in the NA scene, in convincing fashion. Dark Zero decided to take them to Border, a small map which usually lends itself to chaotic teamfights, but they've innovated a new style of execute-focused attack which is about to shock the Sonics. With how long he's been around the scene, there's been talk about whether it might be time for Canadian to retire, but he's about to show just how dominant he continues to be. Sonics are defending Armory and Lockers with an extension into CCTV and Office. This is a very normal extension for Border and will remain consistent throughout the game. The top floor of Border is the hardest part of the map to attack, so teams want to hold on to it pretty much no matter the site. This round, that involves Fenrir traps on the entries and a Mira plus feed holes to support Adam and CC. Dark Zero want to go for an Armory attack, but they need to do a few things before going directly to site. Sonics have a player Armory, Break, and CC, so no matter where DZ try to walk, they'll be fighting across at the choke. To counter this, DZ send 3 players outside Armory in order to clear out Adam, when suddenly, NJR finds Merc through the archives window. This does 2 things for Dark Zero. First, it opens up Armory, since without any site presence, there's a gap in the defense. And second, it gets rid of the crossfire here, making Adam's position suddenly a lot more vulnerable. Nave flashes in from Break as Bolo and Pamba push CC Door to capitalize and take the space.
Is going to be the first pick going towards Dark Zero. NJR picking that up free. Fireball to go through, flashbangs coming through, Atom getting forced out of that break room as the push comes through, Bolo picks him up, and now they've turned into a 5v3. Grixer does strike back, however, does get down for it, but the plant is starting to come down. Smokes have gone through, and there is no answer from Sonics as the plant has gone down. It's going to be a very tough retake.
Perfect push so far from DZ. Like you said, 4v3, and Grixer basically 1 bullet's worth of HP, and the fire arrow comes out to keep this defense at bay for even longer. And we know how long that fire lasts. Panda gonna pick up the low HP Rex, and Ambi finally gonna get on the board with 1, but it's all up to him, and he can't even make it past Canadian. DZ with a very well executed plant, the aggression in from the other side, distracting the defense enough to allow Canadian behind that half wall.
What a read out of Canadian. Sensing an opportunity in the chaos, he repelled in Sandwich behind a smoke bolt and manages to get bombed down. Beyond this, in the post plant, he peeks out and firebolts archives, stalling out Sonic's retake, leading to an easy mop-up for the attack. After getting dismantled last round on Armory, Sonics opt to try their hand at Bathroom and Tellers. Like last time, they commit to having a heavy extension up top, expecting DZ to want to take the space to execute through Bath. But Canadian has other plans, and as his team drones the setup out of Sonics, he calls to try a rush execute through Teller's window.
He's my favorite operator. And he's, ever since Ying Glasmeta, he doesn't see a ton of play. So I'm always happy when he gets out. So not only are we going to have the rush, but we're going to have 2 players pinching from the other side of the map, the Lion and the Buck, who don't necessarily need to be with the team here. But Canadian's not planting Soda Machine. He's rushed all the way through the line of smokes, dead center, and no one from the defense is the wiser. They let it go down. It looks like the Fenrir didn't even react, and now he's dead. NJR on that glass coverage from the window gets the opening pick. The plant is down. The Buck is trying to strike from the back, taken out by Grixer, but now with 30 seconds left, the Blitz is running amok in sight. There's 2 men outside to cover the plant. What can Sonics do?
Absolute disaster, completely asleep at the wheel. Now Sonics has 0 answer for this Blitz coming through. Grixer takes him down, but it's a 3v3 in a post plant. Runats tries to come through, Nave takes it down, Grixer does get one, but instantly gets traded out, and NGR finishing everything off.
What a rush out of DZ. This round has so much to talk about. First and most obvious is the combo of smokes plus glass to create cover for the plant while holding through the smoke. This is paired with EMPs out of Bolo, which themselves serve several purposes. EMPs in this spot counter Warden seeing through smoke, BPs and echoes on site, and any C4s or smokes tossed out by the defense. Still, to ensure no chance at a lucky nitro, Canadian creates a column of cover such that he can plant further forward in an unexpected position where no explosives are likely to land. All of this is combined with extra insurance in the form of a lurk bottom metal out of Pamba, giving him control of all of Workshop, and a player passport in Nafe, whose DMR can deny any swing out from Bath. The bomb goes down uncontested, and in the post, with Case in the open, there's not much Sonics can do to retake. 2 in a row for DZ, and the Sonics decide to try a new site once again. This time, on Workshop, they bring with them a C4 on the Mira and the Solus to help deny plant. Dark Zero once again want to work fast and focus site. Instead of setting up to clear the extension, they lurk Bolo and Pamba into customs while sending Nafe, NJR, and Canadian to face vents. They count down for their execute and go.
Age-old crouch walk, armed with one of the best weapons currently in the game, the 80 damage revolver with 0 recoil, but he's getting stopped by a castle barricade. He's going to need to wait for some utility.
Flores. Yeah, I think you saw the Flores drone starting to come through deep. I think he wants the Flores drone to sort of clear that castle out for him, and it looks like he is going to start to get deployed as the drones going over to the top of main stairs. This sort of vertical haul coming out from Sonic's Mira is going to get hard targeted here. Grixer in a pretty bad spot as the smokes come out. The plant's starting to come down. Rexon, however, shuts down Canadian, and Grixer gets Panda as he tries to go for the flank. Ambi gets one of his own C4 in the wrong spot. Diffuser does go down.
One of the most hectic team fights I've ever seen leads to a 4v1 for the Sonics. But what just happened? I promise there's a method behind this madness. So let's go through player by player and break it down. Before the execute, Canadian got on rappel outside of vents. He uses his smokes to create a corridor of cover for Nafe to run into sight and go for plant. But he's worried this may not be enough. To really ensure the player's vert remain helpless, he rappels up to Sandwich and tosses Candelas in armory, making it even harder for the defense to play vert. On the defensive side, Rexon and Adam hear a rappel, then a smoke. Adam reacts by pre-firing through vents door from vert, while Rexon, sensing the rappel might have had some sort of purpose, runs to face stuff the sandwich window where he catches Canadian with a candela in hand. Panba has managed to work his way bottom metal, where he finds himself faced with a castle barricade. He calls for his teammate, Bolo, to make his way over to help out. As the execute comes through, Pamba starts tracking Mira on site, while Bolo gone sixes the door, opening the way for his play. Grixer is sitting Workshop as the only player in sight. His team is calling out they've been hearing nothing up top, so he starts bracing himself for the rush. He sets himself servers as the smokes come through, when suddenly, he hears a Gone 6 pop behind him. He turns, seeing a Deimos rounding the corner to take a fight. He dispatches him and turns his attention back to site, ready to use his C4 to stop plant. After opening Workshop for Pamba, Bolo starts making his way towards bathroom. He has a read someone on Sonics will drop hatch, so he wants to cut them off before they drop. But Ambi is ahead of the game. He's already dropped into bath, and he catches Bolo off guard, giving the advantage to his team. Last time through, I promise. NJR is outside main, ready for the execute. He's right next to Nafe, but despite his proximity to the site, he's got something else in mind. He knows that as bomb is going down, there will be chaos as the Sonics attempt to come up with a plan to stop plant. As everything else is happening, he thinks he might be able to find a gap. The smokes come out, and NJR sprints up main stairs, looking to take a fight. He finds the Solus with her back turned, but isn't ready for a second. Adam counterswings, trading his teammate, and now, in the 1v4, there's precious little Nafe can do to stop the defuse.
Before to try and hold it.
And we talked about the fight back that Sonics have had so far through this game. And now we see it come out in full force. Nafe 1 HP fighting against the bandit on the window. He loses it to Merc as Grixer had started that counter defuse. DZ once again.
Hey, Just real quick, I love getting to make this sort of content, but these videos take a long time. Financially, right now, it doesn't really make sense. But if these are something that you enjoy, the best way to support is to like, comment, and subscribe. Seriously, it means a lot. Following their phenomenal shutdown of the DZ Direct, Sonics return to defend upstairs Armory. They know what went wrong last time, so they opt to keep their setup the same. DZ, however, are doing no such thing. Now that they have a read on the Sonics setup, Canadian starts cooking something cunning. The Sonics have already seen their CC side take, so he tells his team to try something else. With the Glaz and Osa set up outside Archives, it may seem like Dark Zero intend to go for an Archives rush, but that's exactly what they want you to think. See, Dark Zero have something else in mind. They know that after several subsequent site rushes, Sonics will be ready to react. So their plan is to make a ton of noise Archives, drawing defenders away from Armory, opening the space for a hit. Canadian is going to flash in from Sandwich as NJR and Nafe fake the plant, allowing Pamba and Bolo to make the play to open up the round.
Here's the Gara hook. Where's the 1-2-3? Smokes start to come out. You can tell Pamba really wants to go up. We can hear the Osa shields being deployed, and the first pick goes the way of NJR. He's immediately refragged, though, so no more Glaz as the initial plant attempt comes through. It is not successful. The Amaru at least gets one kill in the middle of the site to give his team the man advantage, and the Wamai has no idea what's coming. 3 versus 1, plant going down once again. It's all up to Adam, tasked with defending against all 3 players.
Back facing a bathroom defense, Dark Zero think their direct takes are getting a little too predictable, so Canadian calls for a cross take. In this case, that means taking Armory side over, but Sonics aren't surrendering this space for free. Merc is set up playing box behind a Mira window. He's one of those players who can really turn around on its head. And with the entirety of DZ heading his way, this is his chance to make his mark in this game.
Leave 1? No, 2. Defenders still upstairs, kind of in that Armory Archives area. No, I lied. There's 3. I didn't realize there's a guy over towards box, and that's where the Candelas are being focused from Canadian. Now putting out those smokes, swinging as the Mira playing behind her window. In comes the Deimos revolver out, but he's not blinded. Merc just swings him, gets the kill. At the very least, Ambi was killed earlier, so it's not an opening pick for the defense. It's a refrag, but there's the C4, and Merc stuck in box like an animal backed into a corner, now good for 3 kills, and the entire push from DZ has fallen flat on its face because they could not get this guy out from behind his window.
What a huge misplay going on there. I don't know what the hell happened with that Ying, but it just complete disaster. And Nate finds his way into sight, but gets crossfired. They're gonna know where he is, and they're gonna clean up that kill easy as pie.
For their final defense, Sonics are attempting Armory once more. Not once to try the same attack twice, Dark Zero starts setting themselves for an east side clear. The problem they face is this player Break, whose position behind the reinforcement gives him just enough space to play and fight East, Office, and Cat. He stands directly in the face of DZ's take, but they can't just walk Break to take space. Because of Adam and CC, the defense has a perfect cross on break door, so DZ start working off towards East to begin the round.
I always forget Ash can do that, and then I'll see it and I'm like, oh yeah, you can do that now.
Fair enough. But, well, first kill of the round is going to go towards Rex, and he goes for the run out, but instantly shut down by Bolo.
A 1-for-1 trade East opens the space for DZ, but Ambi is still a problem. Nafe tosses a flash so he can get on the break door angle, while Canadian shoots Bs to get pings on the player. Bolo gets caught peeking 90, but Canadian, off the info from the Grim, is about to make an insane play to force Ambi to expose himself.
One of those office walls make Ambi's position a little bit less secure. He is stuck between a rock and a hard place, but most importantly, he's still alive. No one's peeking the long window. The guy on the break door is kind of stuck there because of the crossfires being held by the defense, and as Bolo attempts to cross the hallway, Merc takes him out. DZ have been stumped. They're stalling out. They're unable to get this pick. They're losing bodies, but finally, Ambi gets taken out, but I mean, at what cost? They've lost 2 players, and there's only 40 seconds left.
Dark Zero equalize, but time is running low. The Sonics call to fall back to site, opting to give space to DZ, but Dark Zero have incredible composure, and the 2 smokes, 2 flashes, and Bs they have left are about to achieve maximum impact.
If it's going to be pretty difficult for them to burst this through, considering we still have a C4 from Purpl.
That C4 is going to be deadly. We've still got goo mines too being regenerated by Adam to slow down this push and give info. And the diffuser's dropped in front of the double door. I didn't even realize. The smokes are going to allow the attack to pick it back up, trying to isolate the ones. Mira's in the corner, killed by Nath. Now they can worry about the players holding the long angles, but somehow Canadian's been allowed in. NJR makes this a 1v3 for Adam. In comes the Legion, and the Twitch shuts him down.